So it turns out a lot of people have been asking me to do a video, walk around video of my Toyota Camry. So if we turn around and look over here, we'll see, what is this? It's a Poseidon. So people have been asking me to do a walk around video of my Poseidon, I think, whatever it is, and here it is. It's kind of dirty. It has a lot of cosmetic restoration work that needs to be done. It has a lot of interior work that still has to be done. But yeah, there's it. We'll take a look inside. So there's part of a corner light is still sitting there. I'll take the key out. The radio is out. I need to replace the radio. I had that apart yesterday to fix the heat being stuck on. I've got some newspaper from cleaning the windows still. It's not in bad shape, it just needs a little bit of work. The driver's seat is the worst, and it's actually not in bad shape for one of these things. The back seat is pretty mint. There's the radio bezel there. Otherwise, it's in pretty good condition. Let's go take a look under the hood. This car has an interesting feature. This is the regular hood release here, is this one. It's got a big thick cable on it. But this right here is actually an auxiliary hood release. It's a thinner cable, and it goes to the same, we'll take a look at it. Pop the hood. On each side, these little piston things with springs latch down into those holes there. There's little latches. And each of those has the big fat cable going to it and the skinnier cable for the auxiliary release, so it's kind of cool. Here's the engine. There's my ratchet strap holding the airbox together. Yeah, you can't actually see anything in this engine. The turbochargers are down there somewhere. You can't see them. You got to pull the engine out to actually get to them. The one on this side, if I had the light turned on, you could probably, yeah, you can kind of see a little bit of it. Right there, you can sort of see part of the turbo, and that's about as good of a glimpse you're going to get of it. Yeah, it's got the Poseidon logo everywhere. It's got one there. It should have one there. It has an old worn-off one there. It has a not-so-worn-off one there. And there's one there. And there's one there. And basically everywhere. They want you to know that you're driving a Poseidon. Oh, there's even one. There's even one up in there. Close this for now. They have one on the door, and every single door handle has one, just so you know that you have a Poseidon. When you get inside, there's one there on the carpet, and there's 3 on all the pedals. And there's one on the dash, and there's one on the steering wheel, and there's one on the HVAC, and there's one on the shifter, and there's one there on the door sill, and there's one there on the door sill, and there's another one on the VIN tag. No end. And it kind of says right there on the thing, so no end of knowing what you're driving when you're driving this car. There's even one on the key, if we take a look at that. Yeah. Got a bunch of weird buttons and stuff. That one is for the clock light, and my clock is taken out right now because I'm working on it. My clock doesn't have a light in it though, so I don't know. That's for the 100-watt fog lights. That's for the rear defroster, I'm guessing, and I don't know if it works. That's for the hazards. That's the test light, so, well, we'll turn the key on and then we can see what it does in a second here. That opens the fuel door, and that opens the trunk lid. So right now, the computer's doing a built-in, okay, the built-in self-test is stopped. So if I push the test button, all those lights come on, so you can see if they work. Kinda weird, they'd put that on the dash. The speedometer starts at about 20 miles an hour. The tachometer is broken and starts at 1,000 miles an hour. I think it's supposed to start at 0. It reads 1,000 high. The voltmeter, the the voltmeter doesn't work at all. It always reads 0. The fuel gauge you can see works. Engine temperature, if we can get a good look at it. Engine temperature works. Oil pressure. The oil pressure worked until I tried to take the gauge cluster apart and fix the speedometer not working, and now it just goes from 0 to 5 and stays pegged at 5 all the time. I don't know. The controls on this car are rather funny. If we look over here on the stock, this is the blinker like you'd expect. This is the headlights and horn. So if I pull this back, it'll flash the high beams. If I push that down, that's high beams on, and that's high beams off, which is really confusing to get used to. And that's the air horn, which we can demonstrate later, but not in my driveway. And if you twist this one, it turns the lights on and turns the lights off. So, what other features do we have here? We have a little slidey thing, an operable parking brake. We have power seats on the driver's side. So these buttons all do something in related to moving the seat around. I'm not really sure, except none of those buttons move the seat forward or backward. Those buttons are for the front windows. However, to move the seat forward or backward, we have to go look down here, and there it is. There's the seat forward backward button. That's really intuitive. Oh yeah, they put the Poseidon on the speaker thing too. All right, let's see if this wants to cooperate for us today. Let the fuel pump prime. Close the door there. All right, starts right up. It's cold. It's the first hour of the day. I just rolled it out of the garage. So we'll let that warm up for a minute, and then I'll see if I can go for a drive while holding the camera at the same time. So I'm really brave, and I've actually pushed this button, which opens the... Oh, there we go. I pushed the wrong way. The sunroof on this actually works. It makes some interesting noises, but it does work. That's kind of nice. So I fixed the heat last night. Well, I fixed it having too much heat, right? So the heat shouldn't be stuck on anymore. We'll see what happens when I take it for a drive now, but yeah, I gotta fix this. Yeah. It runs nice. I mean, I should do something with that. And, you know, it's not a bad little car, so. Alright, because race car, we gotta push it down and we're gonna go backwards. Don't hit my Toyota because that's the only reliable car I own. Well, the Mercedes isn't that either, I guess. I'm not going to look to the right because I actually own this road. And let's just slowly roll on out. All right. I'm used to Japanese 5-speed, so this dogleg 5-speed is taking me some getting used to. Anyway, we'll take it for a drive and warm it up, and once the engine's up to temperature, we'll take it into a good rip and take a look at the turbo gauge, because I think the boost gauge is the only thing anyone actually wants to see doing something when I drive. Until the transmission warms up, second gear is a little bit touchy, I've discovered, so it got a lot better after I changed the oil, so maybe I'll change the oil again and see how we do. Here we are cruising along. See, the speedometer and stuff works, so that's kind of nice. Alright, I'll come back after the engine's up to temperature. Alright, so we're up to temperature. Should put a second. Alright. So you can hear the door gasket leaks because the door gasket's actually curled up under the seat. If you look, you can, maybe you can't, but the door gasket's missing. You can't see outside the door from this angle, but yeah, it's annoying. If I let off the gas, you can see the turbo goes to the other end because it's under vacuum, and then you get some turbo action. So yeah, it's got a couple little spoolie boys in there, so fun.